Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to drive Becketts Farm Roundabout in South Birmingham. I'll be showing you how to choose the correct lane, how to stay in the correct lane, and passing on lots of experience from my 20 plus years of being a driving instructor, during which time I've taught over 1,000 people to drive. Many people have come to me, especially for 2-hour lessons, just on this roundabout. And I've even had driving instructors who have come to me just to learn how to teach this roundabout better. So I've become known as the boss of Becketts Farm. This is my special subject, as it were. So how do you choose the correct lane? It's simple. I can explain it in 2 words. Keep left. That's all you need to do. It doesn't matter which way you're going. If you're going left, ahead, right, whatever you're doing, you simply keep as far left as you can. So when you approach the roundabout, you look at the markings on the floor and you think, does the left lane go the way that I want to go? If it does, use it. If it doesn't, look at the next one to the right, lane 2. Does that lane go the way I want to go? If it does, use it. If it doesn't, look at the next one to the right, which in this case is lane 3, the final lane. And then use that one. If that doesn't go where you want to go, you've got it wrong. And there is one direction. I can show you something about that. Now we'll get driving very soon, but it's important you know this to begin with. You've got to know how to do this. Do not make this mistake, which is something a lot of instructors teach wrongly and a lot of people just think incorrectly. Don't just think, well, the left lane goes left, the mid lane goes ahead, and the right lane goes right. No, that's a very basic way of looking at it. And while it may be true, that is not the best way of doing it. And you'll have problems if you do that. So let's turn the car on, let's get going. And I'm going to start off by going ahead. No one around here, so no signal needed. Now I did actually start filming this video a few days ago and I did the left, so I may be linked to that. But that video went wrong because just to start to get here, they put roadworks up and I couldn't show you the lanes because they were all coned off with traffic cones. So I'm checking behind, and I've done another video on how to join dual carriageways. I'll link that in the description. And at the end of this one, check, indicate, move over, they're flashing me to go, that's good, and off I go. So look at the sign on the left, I'm going to go ahead to Birmingham. So it's saying Birmingham second exit, and it's on the left, which suggests it may be the left lane. So I look at the floor. Does the left lane say ahead, A435? Yes, so I use that one. So I come up, I choose 3rd gear in this case because the view is good and I can see very well, no one there. I stay in the left lane, stay in the lane, follow it round, mirror signal, off you go. It's that easy. So the left lane was the one that went the way I wanted to go. So I used it. It's that obvious. Now, the thing is, people get confused and say, well, isn't it the middle lane to go ahead? Yes, the middle lane does go ahead. So when would you use that one instead? Have a think about it. When would you use that lane? I'll tell you the answer soon. But it's not wrong if you go ahead for the middle lane. But what's the reason for there being 2 lanes on the approach that both go the same way? Have a think about that. We're going to drive on this road until we get to Maypole Roundabout, and then we're going to come back and do that one going ahead from the other way. Now, the next time I do it as an ahead, which lane do you think it's going to be? And this is the test for you. If you've had any preconceptions about which lane it's going to be, stop doing that, because that's where people go wrong. They think, well, that one, it was left lane ahead, so the next one I'll be left lane ahead. It doesn't work like that. There is no universal layout that works for every roundabout. They're all different, which is what makes them either difficult or fun, depending on how you look at it. And these are what you call spiral gyratory roundabouts. So the lanes, unlike on the next one, this is a standard roundabout coming up. It's just a normal everyday roundabout. They still require a fairly large one, which people don't like. But the gyratory and spiral ones move outwards. Now I have done another video on spiral roundabouts, and I recommend you check out my page on my website about spiral roundabouts, because I'll explain it in even more detail maybe than I'm doing now. That video is quite long, and I went back and I replayed the video over and over. Now this is the thing, now I'm going right, so I've moved to the right lane. I'm just going to do U-turn and go back to that. So on this one, I'm doing U-turn, which will be the 5th exit. So I'll do my mirrors, signal, I'm braking, and the approach is important. Now I know it's the right lane because I've been here many times, but if I didn't know that, it would almost always be the right lane to do U-turn. Notice I'm leaving the gear, don't rush the gear, wait, choose it, use it. There is no rush to get the gear done. Many people prioritise the gears there, and it's like, oh, gear, 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 and they're still doing maybe 60 miles an hour, and they're thinking of coming down into first gear at 60 miles an hour or so. So I'm checking my mirrors, I come off, I can change third on a bend, nothing wrong with doing that, I can do it, I accelerate away. I use third up to 5th, I do a block change. I don't really want to pass this car ahead because they're in the right lane, which they shouldn't be going that slowly. I've got to hold back. Now I can get around them because they were going far too slowly to be in that lane. So I'll accelerate around them, get up to 70, and then I'll return to the left lane when I can. You may not be seeing the rear camera because there's probably going to be enough stuff on the screen already, but I was having to accelerate a bit slower than I could because behind me another vehicle had made the mistake of thinking, oh look, it's a learner car, they're going to go slow. So they came off in the right lane and tried to overtake me, so I had to hold back. They then dropped back in behind me, which you may not have seen. You should come off in the left lane whenever you can, and this is why I say keep left. Notice I've returned to the left as soon as I can. You don't stay in the right lane. There's often no need to even be in that lane. I overtook those vehicles because they were going slower, but you don't have to overtake everyone, especially if you're on your L test. Yes, it's good to make progress, but we're not going to get too much off topic here. But don't make progress in the way someone behind me is, whereas they're going way over the speed limit to pass everyone. So, coming back to this roundabout, Becketts Farm, we're going to go ahead, and it's the 3rd exit to A435. Now if it's ahead, 3rd exit, which lane is it most likely to be out of 3? Probably not the left, because the left one will go left and 2nd left, the middle one will go ahead to the 3rd exit, and the right one will go right to the 4th exit. So have a look at the diagram, and I'll slow down as best I can, but I can't go too slow here. Notice the ahead is kind of to like the 1 o'clock direction if you like a clock face. So that probably won't be the left lane, but don't assume anything. Look at the floor, what does it tell me? Does the left lane go ahead? No, you can see it says left. Does the middle lane go ahead? Yes, so I choose the middle. And I go middle to middle, like to like, A435. I've passed exit 1, I'm checking my left mirror. As I pass exit 2, I move towards it, but I don't signal until now, and I come off in this lane. I could have overtaken that lorry, but I wanted to show you how to do that properly in that lane as it normally would be. I'm not going to bother going around the lorry, although I could overtake. I'm not going to go too far on this road, so I'm not going to bother going around and cutting back in. I'm going to put this window down a bit. Now when I came out to film this today, my camera's overheated quite annoyingly, as well as there being roadworks on the on the roundabout. So I hope these cameras don't overheat now. That truck is actually going into the garage, so I could have gone round. That kind of thing doesn't matter. Don't worry about it being perfect. Say, oh no, I could have passed the lorry. You could have. You don't have to. It's a speed limit, not a speed target. You don't have to do it. I did it on the other road. I didn't do it on this one. You don't have to. I want the 2nd left towards Weather Oak. So I check my mirrors. I indicate left when I pass the 1st exit here. Several flashes of the light. Check. Then I go. Checking the mirrors again, covering my brake pedal. I'm going to turn right at this junction, so I'll signal now. That tells that car you can go. I think they're going to go anyway, they were there early enough. I'm braking, leave the gear, wait, no clutch, wait, clutch, 2. Maybe I left it a bit long there to prove a point. But the point is, there's no rush. Many people have this thing about the gear, like now they go, oh, third gear, third, did a bend. You've done the gear too soon. The car is now labouring, and I could see there's no one ahead there, that was safe to do. It's labouring, so I've done the gear too soon. Fourth, too soon. It's struggling at the hill. Get back to third, put your foot down. You've got the power in third, the acceleration that you want and need. Maybe you don't want it, but you need it sometimes to get out. I'll check my mirrors. I'm going to indicate now. Tell these people you intend to join the road. Don't assume that they'll just know. You might know this famous saying, to assume is to make an ass of you and me. Anyway, I'm going to go on this roundabout. I'm going to go the right third exit. This is what I mentioned at the beginning, where I said about sometimes it's not always so obvious if you're going ahead. You could call it ahead, you could call it right. It's towards Hollywood. So look at the sign. I'll go as slowly as I can, and I'm going to be aware of the traffic around me. Hollywood, third exit. Now this is only because I know it, I'm going to go to the right lane. And I admit that on this particular roundabout, you do have to know it in a way. Why? Because the markings are so poor. And I'm not going to indicate just to show you how you can do this. I'm going to go, see, this is all of the routes. There's so much happening. I ain't going to sin off. I can't explain everything that's going on at the same time here. But I'll explain in a moment. Hollywood on the floor, H-Wood. Follow this lane, follow it left, keep left, keep left, keep left. I drift with the signal still on. I indicate left now, and I come off. That's how you do it. Now I know that's very confusing, and I can't speak quick enough to say all this stuff as it's happening. This is why I did the other video in the past, where I just replayed the video and I did commentary over it. Let me explain what happened just there. When we approached the roundabout, it's only because I know this. If you don't know that one, it can be tricky, which is why I'm doing this video. I don't like teaching specific roundabouts, but that one, if you don't know it, you've got very little chance of doing it. So, when you come up, the left lane says A435 and Headley Heath, so that's not Hollywood. The middle lane said A435, that's not Hollywood. The right one said all other routes. So I chose the one that said all of the routes, which was the right lane. I then went from the right to the right, because you stay like to like. And I'm just going to give right here for this car. They're giving way to me, and there's a dog, one with a dog in the road. I'll go there. This is a bit of a situation. Make sure that dog's out of the way. Keep it really slow. I think in all the time I've done this, that's one of the first times I've ever met someone on this road, because it's quite rare and whoever comes down here. So anyway, back to that. And again, I'm jumping from one thing to another. That's what driving is. You can't just do one thing when you drive. More traffic, more parked cars, parked vans. You have to be flexible and adaptable when you drive. So I may even pull over in a moment if I can and explain that, because there's so much happening around here. I've never seen it like this before. There's loads of roadwork vehicles down here. Anyway, so what was happening on that road roundabout? Let me pull up in a moment and I'll explain. I'll go left here and I'll pull up and explain this. Please understand, again, I'm doing the best I can in this video. It is much better to actually take lessons for this and learn it properly in real life, because it's just a lot simpler. I'll pull up here, I'm way back from the junction and this bend. So, plenty of action there. What was going on? Let me explain. I wanted to go towards Hollywood. Now the left lane said A435 and Headley Heath, not Hollywood, so that wasn't for me. I looked at the next one, it said A435N, that's not Hollywood. The one on the far right, that's your far right, said all of the routes. So all of the routes is the one I wanted. I go like to like, so left to left, middle to middle, right to right. You stay in your lane. When I went right to right, it then said Hollywood. Now I know that Hollywood was exit. Just going to put this up a bit. Hollywood was exit. That window goes down before it goes up. Hollywood was exit 3. The middle lane went to exits 1 and 2. So when you've passed exit 2, lane 3 must move far left because lanes 1 and 2 have already done their purpose. Now, no, this is not simple, it's not easy to understand, and this is why people have trouble understanding it. And if I didn't know that roundabout, I would have no chance whatsoever of knowing that. This is why it's so silly. Let me go and show you something along this road. I'll leave that window down actually so the cameras don't overheat. As to why you do it like that and why it will be a lot easier, or how it could be a lot easier. Again, sorry if it doesn't make much sense, it's very difficult to explain all this, and if you're in a lesson or in a lesson you can do it over and over. It's interactive, it's quite hard to just talk at people with no feedback from you during the video and you can't ask questions. Maybe I could do a live broadcast of this. So why is that so difficult? Well, I'm going to have to go along the road and do a bit of jiggery pokery with a bit of turning around to show you something. What I'll do is I'll go to Becketts Farm and I'll do a U-turn. So I'm going to show you the thing about choose the lane as far left as you can and stay in your lane, which still applies when doing a U-turn. Now for a U-turn, it will pretty much always be the right lane. I don't want to say always because you've got to be careful to always say that this always works. The only rule that ever always applies is the rule that nothing always applies. So on the roundabout I want to go right, which will be the 5th exit. Now U-turns will not generally be signed because you don't generally do them. You can, nothing wrong with it, but you don't normally do them. So I'm going to go right hand lane. Again, I know this so it's easier, but I have done videos where I didn't know the roundabouts. Middle mirrors, I can indicate right. It doesn't matter much about the farm entrance here because there's a stop line sign there, but I'm going to signal now. Brake, clutch, wait for the gear, down second, pedals off, right to right lane, like to like. Now because I'm going to do U-turn, I'll do something I would normally do, which is move right. Generally, but not always, if you move right, you've done it incorrectly. But I'm going to go round and round and round exit 3. I pass exit 4, which means I must start to move left because that's the last exit before mine. I move left, stay in the lane, I come off, make sure the signal stays on. Off it comes and off I go. So I chose the lane as far left as I could, which in that case was the right one. Now I'm going to just drop into here maybe because I want to show you something without anyone being behind me. Yeah, there's a van behind me, so I'm going to go into here just to get the vehicles behind me out of the way so I can go that way and show you something better. So I'm just going to pop into here and I'm going to come back out the other end and I'm going to wait till there's no one behind me so I can go slow and show you this thing up here. There's also a cyclist there. So I'm just going to wait till there's no one here coming from this way. And there we go. So these roundabouts are much simpler if the signs are better. And there is a sign here, if you look ahead, it's a white sign which is quite well hidden, which isn't good, is it? But it's just behind his hedge and it will tell you which lane goes where. So you see the sign says left lane goes left, middle goes left and ahead, and the right lane goes ahead and right. If only they had those signs on that roundabout, it will make it easier. And most roundabouts do have those signs. Why they don't here, I don't know, they just don't have them. I've said in the other video, which you may or may not see, I'm guessing it's just because this roundabout is on the edge of about 2 or 3 different areas, and maybe each council is saying you pay for it, you pay for it, you pay for the sign, because part of the roundabout I think is in different areas. But anyway, let's go ahead, second exit. Well, let's make it more interesting. Let's go ahead, third exit. Which lane will it be? What do you reckon? If you're saying middle, you're wrong, because there isn't a middle. Actually, let's have a look. So on this one, there are 2 lanes on the approach. So we look at the left one. Does the left lane go ahead? Does it say ahead? Yes, I can see on the floor it says Whittle, which is where I'm going. So I'll brake, clutch, no rush for the gear. Let's go this way, let's drop down to 1, roll. Now I'm going towards Solihull, which wasn't even on the floor back there, that again is why this roundabout is so bad. The signs are terrible. I pass exit 1, stay in the left. I pass exit 2, stay in the left. I must now come off the next one because I can't go any further around. Physically I could go that way, but I've made another video which may be out when this one first comes out, it'll be out around the same time, and I show you some of the horrendous mistakes I've seen on that roundabout. Some of them are so crazy you just can't believe them. You think, how do people get it that wrong? I'll put a link to that in the description and at the end of this video as well. I also hope you can get this because I am aware that my cameras may start to overheat, so I'm having to do this as quickly as I can. I wanted to do it from every angle and cover everything, but I have to be fairly brisk because annoyingly these cameras tend to overheat after half an hour, even though everyone says they don't when they're reviewing them, which is annoying. Very quickly, I might as well fill in the time when I'm driving around here telling you about that. The reason the cameras overheat is because with me being in the UK, sorry for this car, the UK has this thing where we have to have a protection system in the cameras where when it reaches a certain temperature it shuts down. In the US and other countries they don't have that law, whatever it is, this protection thing, so their cameras don't overheat. Well, they may be there, but they just keep recording, and you can actually turn it off, but you have to kind of hack the camera. But it is quite annoying how you think, well, hold on, it's warmer in America than it is in the UK. So how come it's okay for them to have the cameras getting that hot, but we can't? I don't know. But anyway, I'm sorry about that. The reason I don't edit this out, you might be thinking, oh, why didn't you edit these bits out? It's just easier if I don't. To edit the video, it's easier to have one long cut. And I don't like editing parts out where things go wrong and people say, you know, I don't like to edit things. I like to show you the raw, real deal, how it's actually happening. So I'm going to go, which way should we go? Let's go left. I'll go this way. I'm going to get back to Becketts Farm, and I'm going to go right on Becketts Farm because I want to show you that thing. I'll just pull over here actually and I'll explain this. It's not wrong to move to the right and a roundabout, but if you look at a diagram of this one, which I have got, is in this one, I've got a diagram for the roundabout which I've used, and also don't get confused by satellite images, but it helps sometimes to have a satellite image. When you go on this roundabout, if you're having to move to the right, unless you're doing a U-turn, it means you chose the incorrect lane to begin with, because you should never have to move further right unless you're doing a U-turn. You should choose a lane, stay in it, and move to the left. That's how these roundabouts are designed. And if you watch the video I did about spiral roundabouts, I'll talk more about that then. It's not illegal or wrong to move to the right, it's just you don't have to if you do them properly. So let's get going again, no one around again, so no signal needed. And I'm going to go into the road right, and I'm going to go back to Becketts Farm, and I'll go right on that. I'm avoiding going up and down that fast road as much as I can because it's quicker to get back to it from this way. And the end of the road will go right again. Still get to third there, it's worth doing. Generally the rule with the gear, like I was mentioning earlier, don't rush them. Oh, wait, this is not a bad kind of coasting. Wait, choose one, and off we go. The rule with the gears is generally, if you can use a gear for at least 3 seconds, it's worth using. So if I change and I go 1, 2, 3, then I have to change again, that's fine. You just don't want to go, oh no, change it back, and you don't need enough time to use it. But one of the things that inexperienced drivers do is they rush the gears. They're always rushing the gear and prioritising the gear. And there are a few things, in fact I'll say there's nothing that will impress a driving test examiner more than a learner who doesn't rush. And that doesn't mean driving slowly, it means you're calm, controlled. you're in control, you're not panicking, oh right, clutch, right. If you're at that stage, you're probably not ready for a driving test, because you need to go for a test when you're calm. And if you want help with driving test nerves, check out one of my hypnosis tracks, which has been very popular and helped many people to overcome nerves on a driving test. I'm going to go roundabout right, and I will go along the fast road. So let's go mirrors, signal when I pass this little road here. It's the A435. Does that one go A435N? No, that's only A435 South. So I'll go in this one, I roll up, I choose one, I keep my momentum going. Checking around, check the left, you never know who's going to try and pass you on the left. All of the routes it says. So I'm going around, that vehicle's passing me on the left, I go to the middle lane because this is A435N. Again, very difficult to see, but it is there. I check my mirrors and my blind spot. There's no one there, so I can cut over the lane. I'm not cutting it, I'm just going over. I can. It's a broken white line, which means I can cross it. There's no one around on that side. That's how you do it. Now, I asked you a question earlier about when would you go ahead for the middle lane. When would you do that? Let's go back and I'll finish off this video by showing you when you would use the other lane, because sometimes there are multiple lanes available to go in the same direction. So I'll go down this road to wait for this car to pass. You'll notice there how I didn't outrun the car. Again, sensible, mature driving. I didn't just put my foot down and think, oh, I'm faster than them, I'm going to go quacker. I'm not a duck. Did you spot the duck sign earlier in the video? Maybe that's why I said it. There has been a duck sign in this video. Did you see it? Bit of fun there for you. Go and spot the duck sign. Well, it's not ducks, it's wild animals. It looks similar to the duck sign. Anyway, now you might say, why do you always keep talking about this and that and that? Because that's what makes me a good driver. You have to have a very open mind. You don't just think left lane goes left, middle lane goes ahead, right lane goes right. No, that's wrong. You're not open-minded. You're just assuming that's how it is. If you go a few miles that way, which is east, I think, in that area, the rule that the council use is that the right lane nearly always goes ahead, and there are virtually no roundabouts where the left lane goes ahead. They just do it in different ways, different areas. If you're watching this from abroad, I don't know if anyone will be, but many of my viewers are in the USA. England is a lot like a miniature version of America, where we've got many different counties. Counties are what, like our states are, I suppose, like West Midlands, East Midlands, Yorkshire, Cornwall, Devon. But then each one of those states, counties, has its own councils in different areas, like subdivisions, I think they're called in America, I'm not sure. And they've all got their own idea of how to do it, which is why it's so much fun to be driving. So I'm going to do a U-turn, mirror signal, don't push the gear, wait, I'm braking, leave the gear, leave the clutch, do the clutch, not the gear, that car, I got the lines wrong, leave the gear, wait, choose two, choose it, use it, off I go. See how calm that is? And yes, I've been driving for decades and I've got that much experience and I've done advanced tests. Share my mirrors, can go through the hatch markings there. I hope you had time to say that, but there was a queue forming ahead of jam, so there was a broken white line. I didn't end up needing to use it, but that's what it's for. If you have to, and go through that line. Same again, leaving third, wait. Third to fifth, block change. Don't rush the gear changes. Don't be on this road and go like fourth, fifth, sixth, fifth, fourth. If you're doing that, you're nowhere near test ready. And I'm not making fun of learners, it's just that's what learners do. They panic, understandably, because they're driving at high speed, maybe for the first time. I'm not going to bother overtaking these, I'm just going to keep it calm. But I don't need to overtake. Yes, I could. I'm doing 54, you'll speed it on the screen if you see it, might be saying 52-ish. I don't need to overtake, you don't have to. Always think, is there any need? Would I gain anything by overtaking? If I was going a long way on a motorway, yes, I would overtake, because I might be driving much longer, and over the course of hours you might save yourself a lot of time, a lot of distance. But I'm only going about 2 miles down the road, and I don't care if the van passes me. Ego has no place when you're driving. You can't think, oh no, it's a van's overtaken me, it's hurt my ego, I'm in a car, I should be faster than a van, I'm a better driver than them, I'm going to prove I can go faster. That's stupid, immature driving. I've had people who don't like being passed by women. They're looking at me and say, I'm not letting a woman pass me, you're not passing me, and they're trying to block them because they're women, and they're not big enough to be to be overtaken by a woman. That's pathetic, immature driving. And well done, I should say, to England's women's football team, who last night won the Euros back to back. So, got the wind up, so I'm being blasted out here by the wind. Up. Yeah, well done to England's football team, who won the Euros last night for the second time, back to back. But let's look at the roundabout. We're going to go ahead. I'll do this one again going ahead, Evesham. So, checking my mirrors, checking my surroundings. Now, I could go in the right lane. Shall I do that just for an example? No. But I've given you a clue. Why might I have gone in the right lane then? Why was that a valid time? It's worked out better because it's cleared the traffic. But why am I saying that? Why was that lane almost better? Middle to middle. Check the left. I want to move left. Don't signal the light coming off. Move left. See, I'm in the lane. And I come off in the left lane. Boom. Bang. Done. That's how you do it. But I could have gone in the right lane there as well. So when and why would I have gone in the right lane? Well, I've given you the whole video. I don't know how long this video's been, about 20 minutes or so. So let me give you the answer. The reason you go ahead in the second lane that goes the same way is that's for overtaking, and if the one camera's overheating there, never mind about that. You'll be watching the front camera now. Sorry about that. These cameras do tend to overheat, just the way they are. But I've almost finished the video. I hope this camera keeps going for another 5 minutes or so or less. So I'll check my mirrors, and I'm going to indicate left in a moment. So the second lane that goes ahead is to overtake. That's what it's for. So let's say I was overtaking on a road like this, and I kind of got stuck, as it were, in the right hand lane. And you think, oh no, I can't go ahead now because I'm in the right lane. Well, you can go ahead now because that lane also goes ahead. Let me show you what I mean. I know it's a bit confusing when you're just listening to it. So let me show you. I'll brake and leave the gear. You can't see me now, but I'm waiting, leaving the gear. Clutch down now. Choose second, choose it, use it. Use it means get your foot back up off the clutch. So hopefully the camera will last just another couple of minutes and I can show you this. I'm going to turn in here. It's a one-way road. One line on the floor, one waste line on the right there. Come on camera, last out just another few minutes and I can show people this. So I was going to do this old school. I was going to use my old cameras. I even charged up my old 9-year-old cameras, but I thought I want the quality to be as good as possible. If you do want to see more from me on this, let me know. I know I haven't covered every angle, but between this one and the other one where the roundabout was blocked off with cones, hopefully it's been a good help to you. So let's go ahead from the middle lane. Now this isn't wrong if you do it when there's no one around, but imagine that I come up and there's lots of people in the left lane. There's loads of people visiting Becketts Farm, which is a big area where there's a farm shop and I think there's a hairdresser's in there. There's all sorts of shops there. It's a good place to go. Now I approach and I'm going to get it in the middle lane. Let's just imagine the left lane is busier. It might be busy, hopefully it will be. But I'm going to do it from the middle lane to go ahead. And this is when I overtake, so I'm going to do it more briskly and probably overtake someone. It all depends what's going on. So let's imagine I get it wrong, as it were, and I come up in the middle lane. So imagine the left lane's busy. That's when you would choose this one instead, because it goes the same way. So I brake I'll select third because it's open. That means the view is very good. This time I go like to like, middle to middle, and I stay in the middle. Now I could move left as I did before, or I could stay in the right, mirrors, signal, come off in the right, and then return left as soon as possible, which is now. So I'm going to end it there before the cameras overheat. I hope that's helped you a lot. Check out this other video on the screen there for more help with spiral roundabouts in general, and my other one about the many mistakes people make on Becketts Farm. Visit my website firstdrive.com. Thanks for watching, and as always I'll see you again soon for more videos.